Alright folks, Jonathan here. We're going to put this engine back in this truck. Finally got it chained to where it's level, which is probably bad. It probably needed a little bit angled, but we're going to try it anyway. I usually don't pull motor and transmission at the same time, so I didn't have a good idea where to hook it to. You know, we pulled down this one out and we pulled this one out of the other truck, and you know, they was both kind of screwy where we had them hooked at. So, there's actually 4 hooks on that engine, and I guess you just got to pick the right one. So we've got it 3 chains on it now, so we've got it good and level. And you can see, got the boom up. You do is raise the boom up and suck it in real close. That way you can back up to the truck far enough, and then you can set it down in there where you need it. So that's what we're going to do now. Wish me luck. Okay, so it's the following day. I had to leave on a highway patrol wreck. Then I ended up getting the sheriff's department call, burnt car. So anyway, it's the next morning. I didn't get this set all the way in. I was having trouble when I had the engine hooked level. I was going back and hitting the top of the firewall there, where it, you know, comes way out. So I put the engine on a jack. We'll start to roll back, or the wrecker back up. Get the weight off the engine, and then I'm actually going to try to roll the rollback forward, and hopefully that will set it where we need to set it. We'll see. All right. Alright, everything else is easy. We got her in there and got the engine mounts, bolts through it. So we're just going to start hooking stuff up. I think I'm going to keep this power steering unit. I'll probably put my alternator on. I don't know. We might leave this one and try it. I know it's good, but I mean, I've got a new one right here. But I mean, I could just stick it on there. It really don't matter. I mean, either way, whichever one I put on, the other one's going to be put up for an extra. So, I am going to go ahead and buy a new fuel pump, just because I can get that fuel pump, you know, 30 bucks. That's just the transfer pump up to the injector pump. I think that's about it. We've got most everything taken care of. We get oil and filter. And just get everything hooked up like it's supposed to be, and that's not, you know, it's not a real bad job on this thing. The worst part's getting it in and out, setting it around and fighting with it. I don't know what it is about the camera. Sometimes it makes you look like you got bald tires on your vehicles, but them tires are nowhere near bald. But I had somebody comment that they were bald. So I don't know if you can see them or not, but I don't know. Weird. That ain't the first time that's happened. But okay, folks, having one of them days. So I got my rings today for this engine, of course, and the first thing I did was grab the top ring and come out and stick it in the bore, and they're nowhere near it. I don't know what size oversized they sent me, but they're definitely not standard rings. I went ahead and checked the second one and the oil control ring, and they're all way too big. So we got at least an 1/8 inch overlap, and you know, if it was close or something where they was, you know, just about touching or something like that, I would grind them. But it's just too much because I'm afraid it's just going to put too much pressure on the rings if I'd done that. So I've got to figure out something different. And I sort of have set myself a goal to try to get one of these cars up and going brake-wise, engine-wise, and, you know, like the floors. Basically what we've done on the 59 and what we've done on the 51 Studebaker. I'm trying to do it every 20 days. And I know that's a lot to try to do, but I figured if I set my goal at 20 days and it took me 30, we was okay. But so this one here was set at 20, and it's not looking the best in the world. It took about 20 days to get the 51 from the time we got it here till the time we actually was driving it, you know, on the road, was about 20 days. And I guess after sitting for, you know, 40 something years, it's not too bad. But you know, I was going to try to do the same thing on this one, and you know, I'm going to be flipping a few of these here soon. I don't know whether, you know, this one, when it's going or if it's going or what, but anyway, I rechecked the bore on this. I went ahead and mic'd it, and it is 4-inch. There's not much wear at all on this engine. I don't think there's a lot of miles on it, but anyway, that's the deal. So and I had a lot of people say something about the screw possibly getting in 2 cylinders, and not necessarily that it was a screw. It could have been the end off of a spark plug. I was just pointing out the fact that there was mixed match screws in that choke plate. But the 2 center cylinders are, this is a dual plane manifold. In other words, one side of the carburetor actually runs 2 cylinders, you know, front and back on this side, and then the inside on that side, and then the other side runs these 2 and the front and back on the other side. So it's kind of a weird setup, but what had happened was these 2 cylinders are actually connected on the same plane, and it's the lower plane because one of them's a higher plane inside the manifold. So it's very possible that whatever was in one could have gotten bounced, because you're talking about something that it had to be small, because you know, it actually smashed between the piston and the head on this cylinder and this cylinder, but it didn't bend this cylinder. So what it was probably small and long, probably like a tip off of a spark plug, you know, the electrode, or not the electrode, but the grounding tip. But it could have stood up straight one time, and that might have been why it done what it done. You know, but it had been shooting around at, you know, 100 mile an hour or more, and you know, it's hard to say what could have happened. But you know, we know pretty much what happened, and we know that 2 of the pistons are bad because of it. So the pistons will probably be here tomorrow. The gasket set will be here tomorrow. That would have put us putting it back together this weekend. But and I was hoping to have this truck done this week so I could jump on this the weekend, but it's looking like I'm not going to have any rings, so it might be, you know, a big holdup. But anyway, we'll see what happens. It's kind of aggravating, but you know, things go the way they go. Tried to make a purchase today, and actually for my wife. Her birthday's tomorrow, and it kind of got screwed up, kind of upsetting. But we've got we got another package. Let's see what it is. See if I can get upset again here. Okay. Oh, a gas tank. Let me slide this thing out here and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, here's that weird gas tank for that sedan delivery I went ahead and bought. And turned out to be $305. But We needed it. This is the bottom of the tank. That's the top. There's the pickup. So this is where the spare tire slides in up under, and this is where the rear end is cut out. So that don't look too great, but I guess we can work with it. But anyway, we got it, and maybe that's what we'll do if we can get this truck done, is jump on it and knock it out where I can drive it a little bit. As soon as it gets done, I've got, like I said, one thing to do to the 59 Ford, fix the exhaust leak, and I think that's it. I think it's going to be ready to go ahead and sell. So if anybody's looking for a 59 Ford, and I'll update you on the price. I'm not sure yet what it's going to be. I try not to put so much money in them that I got to sell them real high, but you know, you still got to cover your parts for sure. And anyway, so we'll see if we can get the tank maybe on this weekend. I've worked on this quite a bit. Still hadn't changed the cover yet, but I've done a bunch of the work up underneath, and we will hopefully, you know, I actually allowed myself, you know, I was figuring over a week to do this, and you know, it's come along a little faster than that, so we should be able to knock this out pretty quick. We're on the home stretch now. The front end's already painted, and the front quarter fender's painted, so them are actually over at Charlie's. So I've got to do the letters for the doors, and then we will get this all tied up, and got to fix. I got one bumper bolt broke off in there. We got to get taken care of, and that one's loose, and just a lot of little stuff that I want to go on and knock out and take care of, and we'll go from there. All right, I guess I need to run to Charlie's and look at my hood and stuff. He said he's got it painted, so how about some NASCAR mode in the old Studebaker? Alright folks, there you go. I might have to bring the rest of the truck over and let him paint it. He said he ain't got any runs in it, and that's unusual for Charlie. He usually gives them for free. Oh, wait a minute. No, I thought I seen one. No. That's going to match the color of my truck, that's for sure. Alright. Okay, while I was over at Charlie's, I picked up a set of 914 tires. Wide whites, and these are old Silvertown. I don't think they're as old as what you would think, because there's absolutely no weather cracking on them, and these were actually on a car that was taken off today. BF Goodrich Silvertown. They may be repops, but they are tubeless, so there's a good chance they are repops, but I got all four of them. The other one's in the back of the car. Good tread on them. And they're 914s. Well, we're going to put them over on this thing because, of course, these are 14s, but they're a lot shorter, and it is throwing my speedometer off 5 miles an hour. When it says 60, I'm only doing 55. So we can get the RPMs down a little bit more, put these bigger tires on, and I'll show you one of them against the other tire. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there is a big height difference, probably 3 inches, and this thing's supposed to have 15s on it, so this will bring it up to where it needs to be, and hopefully they won't shake or bounce or none of that stuff. And I think it'll look a little better with the white walls, but it will definitely get our speed back where it needs to be. And then I can just save these 14s for something else. And I didn't have any 15-inch rims except them stock rims to put on it, and I just didn't like them. I like the old style stock rims with the clips on them for the baby moons that go on the inside, but the later ones, I just don't like them. But anyway, that's the way it is. Alright, I appreciate everybody watching, and hopefully we'll have this truck maybe finished up by tomorrow. I guess Friday maybe at the latest, and I can drive it up to Charlie's and put the hood on, get it all finished up, and then I guess we'll work on maybe the gas tank on the 50 Chevrolet and take it for a decent drive, and hopefully we can get the ring situation straightened out on the Studebaker. I think them are 4-inch 60 thousandths over is what they sent me, but they knew they were supposed to be standard, so we'll see what happens. But appreciate everybody watching. Till next time, bye.